Welcome back to another Prairie Sister Ranch Farm vlog. I'm Aaron, and thank you for tuning in, my friends. So Aaron, what did you do this week? Well, what didn't I do this week? It was a busy week here at Prairie Sister Ranch. We have some rain moving in. We have some apparent cloudy, rainy days moving in. So with that said, we had that barley field that I secured. The gentleman swathed it down and it needed to get baled up. So it was already a little later than I would have hoped, but we got it baled up, so that's awesome. I'm not complaining, and I'm going to show you how that turned out, how the feed turned up, how my baler worked, and the end result. So we're going to go do that. That was a pretty big job. I had to move my equipment out there and give her. So we're going to do that. We also had about 300 posts to pound in. We had little posts, big posts, you name it. We pounded it in. We have to keep the girls rotated in the pastures. Well, they're not in the pastures. I should say we're fencing off the fields. They're in a field now, and we got to rotate them into that other field. So we got to keep them fed, got to keep them healthy until at least mid-September, late September, when we bring them back home to feed them with hay bales. So there's lots to do. So without further ado, that's enough chit chat, Aaron. Let's better, and get her. Woo! Well, I am headed to battle. I am on the highway. I am heading to the barley field with my pretty old girl. My 566 gave me a little bit of trouble yesterday. I finished baling up some wild hay, and I had either a top idle roller literally explode at the end. I'll show you guys later in the video, or before, I'm not sure, but I'll show you what it looks like. I don't know what happened. No damage to the baler, thank goodness, but definitely need a new roller. Here's what happened to my roller. Look at that. You can see it was scraping a little bit, but it literally just blew up at the end. Well, I know I'm not the first guy this has happened to, but the really funny thing about it was just going tick, 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 tick every other rotation. And that's how I got out and I looked, and you could see the belt riding to one side. That's the only indication. I thought it would thud, do a lot of damage, but maybe I got lucky. I think I did get lucky. John Deere wanted $1,000 for a new roller. So I actually have an old parts John Deere baler that I pulled the roller off of, matched right up, threw 2 new bearings in it, and bolted her in. So hopefully it holds up. Don't know how many bales I'm gonna make, but we'll see shortly what the field looks like. It's feeling up, not too bad. We're probably down there at the 19% moisture range. No, I didn't test it. I don't know. It's not gonna. It's almost ready to be baled right behind the swather, though. I can't leave it any longer. We got rains coming, apparently. So, well, here's the barley. Looks pretty good. I'm just doing the outside swath. Is light. It's much heavier in the middle. So I'm gonna go this way, pick up from the heads first, then I'm gonna zip around, and he went the other way for the rest of them. So this is the first bale. Looks okay. Only thing I think I might do is, you know what, it might be wrapped fine. I think I'll leave it at this. It's wrapped pretty good. So yeah, no, right on. Well, still giving her here. You can tell I'm by the lake. There's seagulls everywhere. They're I guess they're eating crickets and grasshoppers. Anyways, it's going pretty good. Some of this is almost too dry. Just a couple windrows worth, but I'm gonna try to get it all done today. I had about 60 bales already, so that's okay. So I don't know how many more I'm gonna get, but should be okay. But barley is a little tricky to bale. I've never really, I baled oats green-feed. I've never done barley. But the windrows are nice, and my big thing is just starting off the baler properly in the chamber. So it's gonna go slow, then you got to pick up speed appropriately. You can't go too slow because you want to slam all the grain off the head. So I'm kind of going in slower, PTO, then I pick up my ground speed and give PTO a little more RPM, but not that much. And we haven't been losing much heads at all. So I'm going to show you right away. Once I finish up most of this field, we'll take a peek at what I'm knocking off and what I might be losing. But I'm actually preserving quite a bit of the grains, so that's fantastic. Well, the only problems I'm really having with the 566 is just the green feed roll, starting the bale in the chamber. I don't want to mess with the tension because the tension's set pretty spot on. It's making really, really nice bales, nice symmetrical, heavy, dense bales. Like, that's a solid bale. I don't know, my only complaint is the start of it, but it could be my roller actually has a good grip on it. It has that bead. You see, there's some green in there. Not bad though. But yeah, what can you do? I took some of those compression rods out on the baler, and I don't think that was the wisest decision. I took too many out. So I left 3 in. I took the 4th one out. I have one in the middle, one on each side. And it seems to be working a little better, but like I said, it still doesn't like starting. Now, that could be from maybe it's over dry. Obviously, it's very ripe. It's not doughy, the seeds are still hard, but you know, it could just be the dryness. I don't know, maybe there's a new baler in Aaron's future. Well, there you have it, folks. I am done. This side and that side, and we got a grand total of 142 bales, so I'm happy with that. Seems to be quite a bit of good material in here, lots of grains left, you know, from what I can tell. So yeah, it didn't seem to have batted out the kernels too bad, the grains too bad. So like there's no big trail behind me. Just where I was tying, that's the worst, but you can't beat that. With a round baler with twine, you can't help it. Like, you'd need net wrap. Even with net wrap, you'd have some loss. So it was good. Baler held in there. Only thing is, it was jamming off the start. It didn't like making it. But I took out a couple compression rods, these guys right here. But I ended up putting one at the end and one at the other end. And then with that, it actually worked not too bad. I had to go in fairly slow with slower PTO, slower ground speed, and then I pick up ground speed and then I give it some more revolutions, and then the PTO picked it up good. I don't know why, it's slippery. It's a slippery, barley's different than anything else I've ever baled. Way different than slew hay, field hay, native hay, you know, anything oats, even oats green feed, a lot different to bale this. Don't know why, but anyways, good stuff. Went well, very happy, beautiful bales, beautiful weather. We beat the rain. What more can I guy ask for? Woo! Look at this beauty. No squat there. No squat there. Nice. Lots of room. We are off to battle. Gonna put up some posts in the field right now, but into a new field pasture. So they almost are done this other field that we didn't bale up. So gotta keep them moving, gotta keep them grazing, gotta keep those big pretty girls healthy. Well, we use some of those, you see some of those small posts underneath the bigger pressure treated ones? Those are little garbage 2-inch dowel posts. So we actually, just to save a few bucks, those are the ones I put in the swampy areas where there's not gonna be any pressure, because we're just gonna put, I think, a 2-string barbed wire. If we're having lots of pressure on it, we're gonna put a middle poly hot wire if we have to, but we're gonna leave space, so that's not a big deal. We can add that quick anytime. But we put that little 2-inch poly, or I'm sorry, the 2-inch garbage little post just in the swampy areas where it's soft, and we're putting the bigger posts on the high pressure areas. We know which areas the animals are going to push on. So for this last little stretch, we're going to put the bigger posts, and yeah, we'll just tighten. We have really good big corner posts. I'm not gonna, there's not going to be much pressure because the perimeter of where we're fencing is all swamp, so they're not going to be pushing to get into the swamp. They're gonna, you know, typically they're going to want to get into the field, so we're letting them in there, so they're going to be happy. There's going to be alfalfa, all kinds of good stuff for them to munch on. So I'm really excited to get this fence up and get them onto new pasture. And yeah, I'd do another check on the water, but last time I checked, you know what, those few rains we had replenished the water supply on that one small dugout, so that was awesome. I don't know how deep that dugout is. I'd like to check one day. It might be a deep one because I saw them drinking and they're not going too far into it, so that's good. You know, if they're not going too far into it, that means that there's probably quite a bit of water in there and they're not contaminating it quite as bad, so that's okay. That's a good thing. Last post in this line. Not bad. The whole half mile's done. Let's hammer this one out. Jeez. Yeah, heavy hitter. Hot tamale. Oh yeah. There we go. The good old heavy hitter, hitting her heavy. A wheat heart. Hell of a good machine. Our local Home Hardware rents these out. Thank you, gentlemen. You always are helping a guy out. Row's done. We've got a big corner post here. Big stout old girl. Let's roll.
All right.
Roll out. There we go, gave it a few more cranks. Seems to be a little more tight. Gonna do a couple more cranks on this, tighten this up, and give her. Oh, bench is looking okay. Nice and snug. This is the field, so this is what we try to keep them out of, so I don't think they're going to be trying to get out of here anytime soon. So we're just going to go with the 2-wire barb, and if we have to electrify, we can always add poly wire in between or on top if we deem it necessary. Well, much like my dead electric fencer. I am done. I am throwing in the towel. This is Aaron signing off. We will see you next weekend with an all new Prairie Sunset Ranch farm vlog. Be there or be square, my friends. Bye for now. Have a great week.